So let's bring in co-founder of the Center for Advanced Preparedness and Threats Response Simulation, Phil Siegel. Phil, good morning.
Good morning.
So the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Mark Warner, joined Morning in America just before the hearing yesterday. Here's what he had to say.
Americans are willing to believe crazier and crazier conspiracy theories coming off the internet. So it doesn't take that much to amplify those theories, oftentimes on social media. Artificial intelligence can end up changing your voice, your face, my voice, my face. Add all that on top of the possibilities of cyber attacks against some of our election infrastructure, and I think Americans should be on their guard.
Phil, how concerned should Americans be about those threats to the election, especially when we talk about foreign agents like Russia, China, and Iran?
Yeah, I think these are all very good points and very concerning. I will say that this election will probably be the election where there'll be a lot of experiments by both foreign actors and domestic actors trying to influence elections. We're going to see some artificial intelligence, voice cloning, and so forth. But a lot of that's going to be easy to spot. The technology is good, but people's ability to use it isn't as good as it will become. We're going to have a lot more problems in the future when people get used to using the technology. The technology continues to improve. And it becomes that they're able to analyze what was effective and not effective. So while I think we should be concerned about this election, I think we should be very concerned about future elections.
Phil, I have to say, though, I'm with you here that a lot of people aren't utilizing AI as well as they could. But I've sat through some of those tech hearings. I know you have, too. I feel like lawmakers may be a little behind what the American public is when it's coming to this technology. Do you think Congress is keeping up with the evolving technology that we're seeing?
They're trying. Yesterday, the Senate came out with a bipartisan framework for not just elections, but both investing and regulating the technology. But we are behind. There's no doubt about that. The other thing is every time they put something together, it has too many things in it. That plan they put out, or a roadmap they put out, had several dozen things that they want to look at, some of which we could do very quickly and some of which are going to take more time. We need to do the things that we can do quickly now. The Federal Election Commission needs to come up with criminal guidelines that Congress can pass that keeps this technology at bay, because if all there are civil penalties for doing this, we're going to have people perfectly willing to pay those civil penalties to put misinformation, AI-generated misinformation out on social media.
We heard from Director Avril Haines a little while ago. She admitted Russia is the biggest threat, but she also noted, she said this quote, that we've never been better prepared to protect our elections. Are you confident about that statement, Phil?
I think they've worked very hard to get to that point, so that's probably correct. And again, I think the foreign actors don't yet really know what AI-generated content is going to be the most effective. So we're going to see, some things that actually probably make us laugh over the course of this election. I'm more worried about domestic actors who do understand what influences their cohorts and so forth using the technology to mislead the public. We've seen some of that, but it's also very complicated. We have First Amendment laws, the First Amendment and laws around that, around satire and so forth. And a lot of people are going to be able to claim when they make these that they were just promoting satire or making an exaggerated point, and all of that is protected. And so we need to come up with these guidelines of what is and isn't protected. And while watching these foreign actors, we need to police ourselves as well, or at least have guidelines for ourselves.
Good advice. Phil Siegel, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.